Again, my name is Mike Rogers, and I was just like you back in October 1987. I lived in Los Angeles County near a landfill like this one being shown in La Puente, California, which is the world's largest landfill. It's bigger than cities. One day during my commute, I heard the headline news on the car radio that there were concerns of landfills located close to neighborhoods, that the landfills were leaking toxic waste, and that toxic waste was leaching itself into the local drinking water supply wells. The concern was that the local municipal water treatment facilities would be unable to completely remove all of the toxic water contaminants, and the remainder of the toxins would be delivered into every home, school, and business in the area. This grabbed my attention immediately because I lived just a few miles away from that landfill. I knew as a U.S. Army medical specialist veteran that exposure to those toxins meant lifelong illness, cancer, and premature death. I was helpless and felt trapped. I was angry at the government letting the people down. So during my years of service to corporate America, I worked for 3 water treatment companies. The first one in 1987 in California, the next one in 2005 in Florida, and the final one in 2018 in Colorado. The first 2 were dealers and distributors and sales positions. I hated the way they ran their business. It was disgusting how they thought of their customers. But the third company was a water treatment manufacturer, and it was there that I was surrounded by engineers of all specialties. They were chemical engineers, there were microbiological engineers, and biosystems engineers. I also had the pleasure of working with chemists and lab technicians who tested water samples for the dental industry. It was a fascinating ride during my tenure there, as I was within a few feet of nearly every engineer, chemist, and lab tech. I was taught to build a $15,000 medical-grade water treatment system designed for medical and dental clinics. And it was there that I finally understood the engineering behind the water treatment systems. But equally important was the depth of knowledge I learned about how water works. I discovered key concepts about how water reacts under certain conditions over time. But it was later that I discovered a secret long after I stopped working for my employer. And now I want to share this key strategy with the world. I connected the dots by what I learned in the military and combining it with water source safety. And here's the proof of the results after nearly 3 decades of using water treatment. Is there really a fountain of youth? Let's compare similar age brackets. The typical 60-year-old male compared to a 59-year-old me, using water treatment products since 1995 when I could finally afford a system. Me at age 49 with Grace, my wife, age 62, and our 5th grandson, Logan, in 2011. Grace in 2018, age 69, with our 2 grown children and her niece. Grace in 2020, age 71. December 2019, me with my primary care physician. My blood work test results came back being the best in my adult life. Ready to run errands and spend time together with Grace. Friends started asking me how I did it. At that moment, I remembered the young guy in his mid-20s, feeling exposed to an invisible enemy inside my water source, feeling powerless with the sobering realization that I needed to take action fast and make water treatment a part of our daily lives. I had to because I've lost both of my parents to end-stage renal failure, which happens to be the kidneys shutting down. Since I have the biological markers, I needed to make a course correction that my parents never figured out. Kidneys are an amazing biological organ. Like water treatment, they filter out toxins, but you do have to take care for them, and drinking the right water is a great start. But there are other areas of the body left susceptible. Then I remember when my aha moment appeared as the missing puzzle pieces of a puzzle I now had solved in water safety. This was so simple that I got excited about sharing this with as many people as I could. I wanted to take the missing key ingredients and go mainstream to the public to share about water-related issues and passionately explain it in a way that would be more interesting by combining it with my desire for the safest water available in the world. By perfecting my discovery with proper research, I knew that this information would help to raise a conscious awareness that would cause people to take the actionable steps needed to protect themselves and those they care for. During my 9 months of research, the global pandemic COVID-19 reared its ugly head. People severely impacted by the virus either died or spent several weeks or months in recovery. Those who survived were scarred for life with a compromised immune system. It got me thinking about my clinical medicine work I performed for troops in the U.S. Army back in the 1980s. People with a compromised immune system have a long journey ahead of them every single day. After the first 6 months, these COVID-19 survivors began to experience serious symptoms. The growing trend is so popular that COVID-19 survivors are called long haulers. They now join the population that suffer from being immunocompromised for life. Those of you watching this vital presentation will fall into one of the following categories. You are either young and healthy and looking to stay that way for as long as possible, or you have one or more medical conditions called comorbidities, or you know someone or care for them who has one or more of the following medical diagnoses: autoimmune disease, Crohn's disease, HIV or AIDS, multiple sclerosis, lupus, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, morbid obesity, orthopedic arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, a bone marrow recipient, cancer undergoing chemotherapy or radiation treatment, lung disease, COPD, asthma, sickle cell anemia, hepatitis, ALS, Parkinson's disease, or chronic infections like the eye, ear, sinus, upper respiratory, urinary tract infections, etc., sarcoma, eczema, and other skin, scalp, and complexion issues. Then I also thought about those who naturally have weakened or underdeveloped immune systems. These special cases of the population are either of the following: newborn infants up to age 6 years of age, and the elderly age 65 years and older. Whether you care for only yourself or for any of these individuals suffering from their condition, whether at home or at a place of business, every single one of these categories deserve the best care possible, which is why I'm proud to share with you the release of this new special report on water source safety. Introducing Exposing Hidden Dangers of Water, making a case for regular home and business water testing. Imagine having peace of mind by knowing exactly what is in your water source that gets used daily in the home and office for drinking, food prep, cooking, bathing, showering, oral care, cleaning, and hand washing. Imagine ending that heart-sinking feeling of being helpless to solve the potential exposure issues flowing into your home every day. Imagine you finally stop having negative thoughts about property value plummeting because the below-grade water supply source forces the appraised assessments in your area to drop in value, losing precious equity. Imagine feeling like you're finally in control of your quality of life. Imagine instantly becoming a force to reckon against your water contaminants. Imagine experiencing no more worries about your kids getting sick or worse from exposures today that might affect them even a generation later. You will finally be able to sleep at night knowing that you have a new awareness of the enemy in your water and discover new ways to control it, making the people in your home or office become untouchable. Exposing Hidden Dangers of Water covers everything you need to know about the state of water in this decade in a condensed version, written in an easy to understand language. Use it as a quick reference to review and when you are about to tackle a new water improvement project.